Hi, and welcome to class. So this evening, we're going to be doing a little bit of a flow dedicated and focused around our root chakra. So this is the Muladhara chakra that we're going to be doing today. So once you get set up on your mat, you find a nice space in your home or wherever it is that you're at. Just make sure that you're somewhere that's quiet, that won't be bothered for the next hour. And come into a seat. And this can be any easy seat, cross-legged, sitting with a bolster, sitting with a pillow. Just finding a relaxing seat, an easy seat, Sukhasana. And with the eyes closed, just taking some natural breaths through the nose, relaxing any tension at all, any tension in the face, the neck, the shoulders. Noticing the way that the body feels as it sits on your mat. You're just getting nice and heavy through the sit bones, really letting the weight of the body move down towards the earth. Bringing our attention back to the breath. Sit up just a little bit taller and start to actively engage your breathing. So taking full inhalations deeply through the nose, sending the breath all the way down, deep into the belly, deep into the pelvic floor. And then exhaling, using your muscles to press the air all the way back out until the body becomes empty. And just continuing to breathe in this way, feeling the expansion and the contraction that's happening within the body. And with every breath that you take, becoming a little bit more grounded. And from here, let's bring the hands together into the heart space. Take the next moment to find any intention, any sankalpa for your yoga practice this evening. Maybe this intention is inspired by the root chakra. Maybe it has to do with finding stability, finding groundedness in this time. Whatever the intention is, let it move with you through your practice this evening. Let's gently release the arms down, just resting hands over the knees. And slowly start to open the eyes. Again, welcome. So we're going to start with the arms up overhead this evening. And I just want you to interlace the fingers and point the index finger straight up to the sky. Now make sure that the neck is relaxed. The arms are nice and long, and we're just going to take 5 deep breaths here. So continuing to find that full inhalation all the way down into the pelvic floor, and then the full exhalation, kind of squeezing the ribs in, knitting in through the core, pressing all of the air out. Let's do that for 4 more deep breaths. Keep reaching up through the arms. Couple more breaths. Beautiful job. Now inhaling one more time. As you exhale, take it over to the right side. You can bring that bottom hand down to the mat, walk it away from the body. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. And we're just reaching and extending over. You can play around with the different range of movement that you have here. Maybe coming down, reaching back up, but just really getting that deep side stretch. Let's inhale, come up, arms reach overhead, and exhale over to the opposite side. So again, feeling free to walk your hand away from the body, keep shoulder away from the ear, and just get that nice stretch. Inhale, come up with both arms overhead. As you exhale, reach forward, hands to the mat, and start to fold the head down. So if you're a little bit tight in the hips and in the back body, don't worry about coming all the way down. You can kind of just rest right here. And just releasing the neck. But if you feel comfortable moving all the way to the mat, then go ahead and just take it's almost like a child's pose variation. And what I'd like you to feel here as you sit is the breath moving directly into the back body. So really expanding, opening up through the back body, every inhalation that you take. And then gently lifting the gaze, you can walk your hands back in, take them behind you, and release the legs. Now the legs are going to move forward, and we've been seated for quite a bit, so the knees might feel a little stiff. So you can just kind of give your legs a little shake, help release the joints. And then from here, we're going to bring the feet to the mat, extend the arms forward, and then lean back and come into a Navasana, boat pose. So we're getting the core nice and warm, building stability from within. You can keep the knees a little bit bent, but always feel encouraged to straighten the legs. Squeezing, bring those thighs into the chest, 4. Beautiful job, and 5. From here, bring the feet back down to the mat. We're going to grab a hold of the knees and just do some seated cats and cows. Inhaling, going forward, pressing through with the heart, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, rolling back. And just sort of undulating through the spine, finding a bit of more mobility. And then let's do Navasana one more time. So arms forward, lean back, sit on the sit bones and balance. So again, you can stay here with knees bent, but maybe you play around with straightening one leg at a time. You can just do that on both sides. And getting some heat building in the core. One more deep breath. From here, we're going to cross the legs, bring the hands down to the mat, roll forward, and try and press and lift the hips. Here for 1. Really root down through the base of the palms. 2. And 3. Release. Roll all the way forward to the hands and the knees, tabletop position. And then just go ahead and stretch one leg out at a time behind you. Kind of pushing into the ball of the foot, reaching back through the heel. Getting the legs to kind of open up a little bit more. Do that a couple times. So we're focusing on the root chakra today, Muladhara chakra. Let's take some cats and cows. Inhaling, dropping belly, lifting gaze. Exhaling, contracting. Just keep moving with your breath. So we're focusing on the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. And what we want to strive for is sort of replicating the qualities of the root chakra in our breath, in our movements, in our yoga practice. So we're thinking about these qualities, what they are, for the root chakra, which is ruled by the earth element and the planet Saturn. These qualities are slow, dense. There's a lot of pressure within this space. And with that pressure, great transformation. And that's kind of the nature of Saturn. Slowly come to a stop with your cats and cows. From here, plant the hands down, tuck the toes, and lift up into a plank position. So if the wrists are bothering you at all, if the core still needs to get stronger, you can come to the knees and take, a baby plank. Otherwise, you're going to come up into full plank and just hold. So the root chakra is slow. It's the heaviest out of all of the chakras in the body. And that's because it's ruled by the earth element. It's located at the pelvic floor. So our movement should be focused on building that stability and that structure, finding the density within our muscles. One more breath. Keep reaching in through the belly, and then exhale, press back into downward facing dog. So really give yourself the opportunity throughout this practice tonight to move slowly, to slow it down, almost as if you were doing your practice in a big bowl of molasses. That's kind of the energy of roots, mula. Slow but potent. Shift your weight forward. Stack shoulders over wrists and hold. So notice that my body's sort of like lifting in an upward direction towards the sky. Sometimes when we take plank, it looks like this. And this is just really bad for the lower back. So tuck in through the belly, get that nice lift, hold for 3, 2, and 1. First, Chaturanga Dandasana, with or without your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, pedal it out. Deepen the breath. Sit and breathe. Let's take our plank one more time, shifting forward. Super strong. Here for 1. Keep plugging in through the arms. 2, 3. My bones are super stacked. 4. And 5. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, child's pose. Resting in child's pose, maybe flipping the palms up to help relieve the wrists. And then let's come back up into our downward facing dog. So just a little rest. Back up to our downward dog. Make sure your hands are super spread. I'm like palming the mat, pressing into the base of the thumb and the index finger. From downward facing dog, gaze to the hands. We're going to step our right foot forward in between the hands and bring the left knee down into a low lunge. And just keep your hands on the mat. So the palms and the heels, the bottoms of the hands, the bottoms of the feet are two of the places in the body that really connect to the root chakra. So the more we kind of earth and ground down through the palms and through the feet, the more we're going to feel the energetics of the root chakra moving into the body. Let's take it out of our low lunge. So you're going to lift the back leg up, take the knee up, and then step forward to the top of your mat into a half fold. Exhale, bend the knees a little bit, full fold all the way down. Inhale, stand, arms come up overhead. Exhale, arms release to the sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, you're going to fold. Inhale, find length through your back, flat back. Hands to the mat, find plank position. Take a full breath in, exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take that low lunge on the left side. So gazing forward to the top of the mat, inhale, step left foot in between the hands. Come down to your right knee. So again, your hands are going to try and remain rooted into the mat. And since we are working a lot with the earth elements, it's okay if you're, literally gazing down at the earth. Just getting into that back leg, getting into your hip, opening up the pelvis. Coming out of our lunge the same way, you're going to lift up that back leg. Step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, find knee. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. And Tadasana, arms to the side. Roll the shoulders back a few times. And then finding this grounded space here in your Tadasana. Let's open the feet up to about hip distance. Really spread the toes out nice and wide. So the same way that the hands and the palms were gripping the mat in our downward facing dog, we want the feet and the toes to kind of find that spreading action and that same gripping action here as we stand on our mat. So feet are very connected. Let's inhale, take the arms up. Keep the arms in line with the sides of the head. As you exhale, bend the knees and sit the hips back, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. So make sure that tailbone is tucking forward. You're very strong through the base of the body. We're here for 1. Keep rooting through the heels. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, stand. Exhale, release the arms, Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, round 2. This time, let's bring hands together into the heart space. You're gonna sit nice and deep in the legs. Note how far back my hips are. It's almost as if my thighs are parallel to the mat. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Make sure knees stay together. And again, really just get deep in the hips. Makes it a lot easier. Woo, let's release. Inhale. Utkatasana chair pose. Hands to the heart. Take another full breath in. And exhale, twist to the left. Again, get into those legs. Let the thighs start to burn. Release. Inhale, forward Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold down. Good job, you guys. You can kind of move it around a little bit through the legs. Maybe take a bit of a ragdoll here, but try to avoid too much movement. Remember that we're trying to kind of embrace the qualities of Earth, of Saturn. So nice and slow and steady. And with that steadiness and with that slower pace comes a little bit more intensity. But again, that intensity is what yields the big transformation. Let's take a couple more breaths here in your forward fold. Maybe make it a bit more of an active fold. So wrapping arms behind the backs of the legs. You can also kind of grab onto the heels if you want. But just really reaching lower belly space over the thighs. Get the hamstrings to open. Good. Now let's bring our hands to the mat. You're going to step your feet back, plank position. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And then find your down dog. We're here. 4, 5. Keep breathing through the nose. 2. And make sure Uddiyana Bandha and Muladhara Bandha are engaged. So pulling in and up through the lower belly space, in and up through the pelvic floor. 4. And 5. Beautiful. Let's come into warrior 1 on the right side. Right foot steps forward. Back heel is going to pivot down into your mat. Inhale, push and come up through both arms. So in warrior 1, you want your legs forward or you want your hips forward. So keep rooting through that back leg, pressing left hip forward. And in any warrior posture, whether it's warrior 1, warrior 2, there should be this equal sharing of weight between the front leg and the back leg. So we're not too far back, we're not too far forward, we're just right in the middle, perfectly balanced between the front and the back side. Now we're going to take a deep breath in and open up into warrior 2, and you might just need to do a little readjustment with your legs, that's fine. Again, make sure that there's equal weight. Now straighten out your front leg. If you want to shorten your stance, you can just kind of scoot your back leg in a little bit. Exhale and fold Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now imagine there's an invisible wall behind you. You're leaning up against that wall, lifting up through that top arm. Just staying as long as you possibly can. From here, let's take our left hand, our top hand, bring it down. And we're moving into pyramid pose. So again, just kind of readjust your back foot. Toes are forward, hips are forward. And we're folding over the right leg. Try to palm your mat with your hands. And again, here, think about equal weight. So if you feel like you're falling too forward in the legs, root through that back heel. Press the hips back more. Try to balance it out. One more breath. From here, hands to the mat. We're going to step left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, step the feet back, plank position. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one on the opposite side. So just kind of building the foundations. Press and come up. And make sure hips are forward. Legs are sharing your weight equally. Really root through the heels and breathe. Let's open it up to warrior two. Again, notice not too forward, not too back. Whoosh. Right through center. Now straighten your front leg. And step back leg forward a little bit to shorten your stance. Tilt and fold. Trikonasana. Again, we're leaning back, lifting up, staying long through the heart. Fantastic. And then bringing top arm down, adjust back leg, pyramid pose. So square those hips and fold. Now coming up and out, take your right foot forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway, fold. Exhale, hands down. Step back, plank position. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, child's pose. Now for this child's pose, feel free to open the knees out nice and wide. Nice and wide, get into the hips a little bit more, and then just walk those arms forward. Now, if this feels comfortable, you want to go deeper, you can feel free to move into Mandukasana. So that's frog pose. You shift your hips up until they're about in line with your knees, and then you open the knees wide, turn the feet out, and flex. So this is a very, very deep hip opener. Wherever you're at, couple more deep breaths. Now if you're in Mandukasana, come up to the hands. Bring the knees back in. Wherever you're at, let's come all the way back up into our downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot forward, come up warrior one. So again, take that back heel down, arms up overhead. We're gonna exhale, open warrior two, and then come into side angle. So that right arm is gonna come down. Maybe you start on the forearm. Eventually what we're gonna work on is a bound side angle. So clasping hands behind the back, rolling the heart open. Now this is a really intense posture, so make sure that that back leg is helping you out by staying active. Just keep working it out. We're here for 3. Nice and slow and steady breaths. 4. And 5. Good job. Come on up, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, turn toes forward. Let's take a wide-legged fold, hands to the hips. Deep breath in. Exhale and fold. You guys are doing fantastic. I just want to say thank you for joining me here online. I know it's a little different, but I really appreciate the support. Let's come out of our fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, stands. And then we're just going to step up to the top of our mat. Find Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga. Step the feet back, lower down. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Okay, left foot forward, warrior 1 on the left side. Deep breath, come up. And as you exhale, open warrior 2. Now again, we're taking that bound side angle variation, so you can start just right here, form the thigh, and then as it gets comfortable, or as it gets more open for you, take the binds. And it's supposed to feel intense, right? So we're still thinking about Saturn. We're thinking about the roots. So all of that pressure that you feel building, all of that intensity in the muscle, woo, it's bringing you transformation. So try and stay here. Let's take 2 more breaths. I know that's hard. I'm struggling a little bit. Woo! Inhale, come up. Ooh, but that's the thing about Saturn. Let's take our wide-legged fold again. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. But that's the thing about Saturn, the transformation that Saturn brings isn't supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to feel good. What allows you to move through it gracefully is self-discipline, self-control, and recognition of where your vital energy is being spent. Let's take a few more breaths here in our wide-legged fold. Feel free to play around with different variations with your arms. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, stand. And then step forward, Tadasana. Okay, last vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your last Chaturanga, super strong. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. From here, we're going to step the feet up about halfway. Turn the heels in. And then just squat down nice and deep, Malasana. So If the heels don't want to come down, that's fine. You can kind of do like a little frog squat with the heels lifted. But just opening up the pelvic floor as much as we can. I think when I was pregnant and was, researching labor postures, I think I remember reading that sitting in a squat like this helps open the pelvis up like 70% or something crazy like that. Don't quote me, but this posture is fantastic for just letting that space in the body breathe, especially because it's so often condensed. It's so often kind of tucked away and hidden in the depths of the body that we want to kind of open it up every once in a while. So doing that through these hip openers. Take a few more breaths. Beautiful job. And then from here, you can just sit back, stretch the legs out in front of you, give them a shake. And then let's take Dandasana, staff posture. Plug down through the legs, plug down through the arms, engage through your bandhas. So pull that pelvic floor in and up, pull the lower belly, in and up, engage the throat, chin moves slightly to the chest. And every muscle in your body here is engaged, every muscle is activated. You're trying to become as dense as possible. Let's inhale, take arms up overhead. Exhale, reach forward and fold, Paschimottanasana. Deep breaths as you relax here in your forward fold. And just remembering all of the benefits of this posture. It's beautiful for the nervous system. It's fantastic for relaxation at the end of the day. It kind of helps you to decompress. Let's take the right leg, bend it into the left thigh. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold for Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release. Now we're going to take a variation on this posture. So you're just going to lift and sit on the heel. So I'm sitting on my right heel, my left leg is still forward. My knee is open at about 45 degrees. But you should feel that heel kind of pressing up into the pelvic floor space. So right into the perineum, in between the reproductive organs and the rectum. Center of the body. This is where the Muladhara Chakra lives. This is the physical representation or entrance, for lack of a better word, for the Muladhara Chakra. So really engage that heel, pull in through the pelvic floor as you fold. And let's inhale, sit up. And you can just press, release the right leg forward. Take the left foot into the thigh, Janu Shirshasana. So foot's just right up against the thigh. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, reach and fold. Inhale, sit up. Let's take the B variation, so just lift, tuck the heel underneath the body, sit and fold again. And find that engagement, plug that heel into the space. And notice if anything starts to arise emotionally or mentally. Inhale, come up. Then just kind of press, release, leg forward, shake them out. And then let's pull both feet in, knees out wide for Baddha Konasana. So with every chakra, so you're gonna open the feet and then start to fold Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. But with every chakra, there is a certain emotional response. There is a certain emotional and physical way that the energy of the chakra holds itself in the body. So in the Muladhara chakra, the root space, this is where we want to find stability. This is the first level. And again, it's ruled by the earth element and Saturn. So this is the kind of archetype within all of our lives for stability, for structure, for kind of earthly things like having a house, like having food on your table, like having a place to sleep, a car to drive to work, things like this. So if any of that is in jeopardy, which a lot of us feel this these days because of the pandemic, because of the uncertainty, because of how our whole structure culturally and collectively as a society has kind of been uprooted. We tend to feel this imbalance as anger, grief, resentment, confusion that kind of turns into anger and resentment. So it's important to understand these emotions on this more objective level, because then that helps you to move through them in a healthy way. So let's come on up out of our Baddha Konasana. We're going to take a little twist before. So Ardha Madrasana, just kind of tuck that bottom leg underneath. Top leg's going to step over the thigh. Inhale, lift left arm. So my right knee is what's bent up. Left arm lifts. And exhale, going to twist to the right. So the more we move through asana, and especially asana that shares qualities of the root chakra, the more we're going to help kind of churn and cook and digest and transform any imbalance that might be there. Let's release and take our twist to the other side. If you want to do this the fun way, you're going to take your hands over to the left and then just kind of lift yourself up, turn yourself all the way around, and you're on the opposite side. No worries if that didn't work for you. My left knee is up, my right leg is tucked underneath. Inhale, lift your right arm and twist to the left side. Go ahead, gently release. You can just lean back, take the legs forward out in front of you, give them a little shake. And then we're gonna lie down on our backs, setting up for some bridge pose. So just a little bit of back bending before we finish, just to kind of help balance things out. So knees are bent, feet are grounded, arms relaxed at the sides. Now again, we're moving nice and slow. So as you inhale, engage the muscles and just press your hips up. And we want to feel a squeezing and wrapping action here. So around the hip space, around the glutes and the thighs. Keep pressing and reaching. 1, 2, 3. Keep pressing into those heels. 4, reach a little higher. And 5, exhale, come down. Happy baby pose. Reach for the inside edges of your feet. Press the knees down to the sides. Think about earth. Earth doesn't move very much. So try to find a still baby pose. While it might feel good to move around and kind of rock side to side, we're still trying to focus on those more stable qualities. So find a nice, still, happy baby, Bala Kritasana. Keep pressing into the bottoms of the feet, reaching that tailbone down, plugging in through the shoulders. Gently release. Hug your knees into your chest. And then from here, we're going to come back up to a seat. So just roll on forward. Find any variation of Padmasana, lotus pose. So you can take just one leg over the top for half lotus. If lotus Padmasana is accessible to you, I challenge you to try and hold it for the next little bit while we finish with our pranayama. So we're going to do a little bit of breath and movement to help focus movement and transformation out of the pelvic floor space up into the sacral space, which we'll work on next time together. So we're going to interlace the hands. Index finger stays extended. Now as you inhale, arms are going to come up, finding the rhythm of the movement. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. You can close the eyes if you like. But just keep going. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Now the same muscles that you would engage if you were to stop urinating midstream, your pelvic floor muscles, I want you to engage them as the arms move up and you take your breath in, and then release them as the arms move down and you breathe out. So we're inhaling, engage the muscles, reach. Exhale, release it all. Inhale, squeeze and engage and reach. Exhale, release and relax it all. So let's just take a few more rounds on your own. Okay, last time, inhale, reach the arms and hold. So you can find a steady breath, but hold those pelvic floor muscles. Keep squeezing them here for 1, 2, keep squeezing, keep lifting, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release the arms down. You can relax the head to the left and to the right, maybe circle it a little bit. And if you need to adjust your seat at all, take a moment to do so. we're going to move into our final chant before we take Shavasana. So we've worked with the physical body, we've worked with the emotional body, with the mental body. We're now going to work with the pranic body. So moving energy or prana out of the root space, or imbalanced prana out of the root space, and getting it to move in an upward direction through the rest of the chakral system, where it can then be digested, transformed, processed into more, evolutionary stuff. So we're going to take Brahma Mudra. You're going to curl your thumbs into your palm, wrap 4 fingers around, and then 2 fists come together right in front of the center of the body. This is a very strong, earthy mudra. Closing the eyes, think about the qualities of the root chakra. It's related to the color red, the planet Saturn, the element earth, and the bija mantra, or the seed sound of this space, is the sound LAM, L-A-M. So while we're holding this mudra, we're going to chant the sound LAM 108 times. And with every LAM that comes forward out of your vocal cords, out of your mouth, I want you to feel the energetic movement of up through the spinal column. So LAM, 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 like that. Refinding your position, closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in preparation. LAM, 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 lam. And gently release your hands. And for the remainder of your practice, feeling free to either stay here in meditation and finding Shavasana whenever it feels right for you. Allow yourself to fully surrender to your practice. And just for the next few minutes, allowing yourself total stillness. Just watching the body, watching the mind, becoming the observer. And before you get too deeply removed, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to make these classes better for you. I can't wait to see you again.